let us go. How do you plan this measurement system analysis for continuous data? First, determine number of operators or the people appraisers we called, and sample parts and repeat reading. For example, you can go for 2 operators or 3 operators. Sample parts, you can go 5 parts, 3 parts, 10 parts. And repeatability is, that is trial 1, trial 2, and trial 3. So first determine the appraisers, samples, parts, readings. So choose appraisers, select representative samples, and number the parts in advance. It's very important to number the parts, okay? But then you are not going to write the reading. There is one more person who will actually record. So you will give him, for you, when he is giving, you should know which number it is so that you can note it down. Okay, so these are the 5 steps. So the first step is, if you see here, the run order. The run order means sample 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and things like that, right? Okay, parts means, okay, first part, second part, third part, and something like that, parts, okay? This is the second part, this is the 5th part, this is the 7th part. Why are they actually not in order? Because it is randomized, okay? Run order means continuously. For example, one person is measuring 10 parts and repeating twice. So how many readings totally you have got? 20. Likewise, if you have 3 people doing that, 60, right? So that is what is a run order, okay? So here Curly, Mo, and 3 people are the same, and the measurement, whatever that they found is given here. Once you populate in the Excel sheet, from Excel sheet, you can copy to Minitab. Okay. Now, in this menu, you go to Quality Tools, Gauge R&R Study, Gauge R&R Crossed. Okay. So once you go to this, you will have a window like this. You have to, step 2 is you'll have to populate in these columns. What you can do, you can either select this, click this and select, or you can double click this, okay? And then after that, it is automatically giving some number here, which is 6 number of standard deviation. And then you'll have to enter the upper specification limit and lower specification limit of what you are measuring. After that, once you click OK, you'll get some readings. And the readings you should interpret with these numbers. Okay, there are graphs which come like this. But what you have to see is this. This part-to-part variation. How many of you see part-to-part variation here? Actually, that variation should be high, because we only want variation from the part, which is the process variation. And there is a variation from the gauge also. And we want the variation in the gauge to be as minimum as possible. We want variation in part to be as maximum as possible. And if you see here, the total gauge R&R is 2.98, which is actually good, very good, right? And see this percentage study variation, percentage tolerance. And here there is number of distinct categories, which is 8, which is very good, because it should be at least 5. So based on seeing this and the earlier table, percentage contribution, percentage study variation, percentage tolerance, and number of distinct categories, the Minitab will automatically give you this graph. If you see this 2.98 is nothing but the sum of repeatability and reproducibility, which is 2.65 and 0.33. And part-to-part variation is 97.02, and 97.02 plus 2.98 will be 100%. You have to go to Quality Tools, Gage R&R, and Gage Run Chart. Please do not forget to see this graph. And the graph will, it's a beautiful graph. Something will come like this. Once the session window is open, all you have to put is, this part number. If you enter, you will see a beautiful graph here. Now, first thing is, let us see the legends here. Blue color is Larry, red color is Curly, and green color is Mo. So if you see here, the second set of readings, they are in perfect agreement, right? If you take apart the second part, Larry also is consistent for the first time and second time. Curly is also consistent, measured the same reading first time and the second time. And Mo also measured the same reading first time and the second time. Whereas if you see ninth part, this ninth part, Larry first time and second time was consistent, but then Mo did not agree with Larry, but was consistent in what he was saying. And this guy Curly, if you see red color, he was neither in agreement with Larry, nor in agreement with Mo, and nor he was in agreement with himself on the same ninth product.